All right, so guys, today we are going to continue with the quiz of Distanza di Sicurezza, Scheda number one. So, for those of you who will be coming across this station for the first time, this is Driving Skills Technique School, where we teach you on how you can also obtain the Italian driver license, which is Patenti B. So if you want to become part of our private class, then I will encourage you to call the phone number that you are seeing on the screen. If possible, drop a comment on our comment section, then I will reply to your comment. And also, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, then I will encourage you to do and also on your YouTube notification so that whenever we drop a video, you will be the first to see it. So, like as I said, today we are going to be doing the quiz of Distanza di Sicurezza, Scheda number one. So, let's proceed. La distanza minima di sicurezza se si viaggia a 30 km orario è di circa 9 metri. The number one is vero, not falso, because he says the minimum safety distance when traveling at 30 km per hour is approximately 9 meters. Oh, yes, it is. Because the minimum recommended safety distance when traveling at 30 kilometer per hour is approximately 9 meters. So, in other words, the distance allows the driver to react in time in the event of sudden braking or an unexpected obstacles. So the number one is vero, not falso. Let's move to number two. The number two is said, conducente all'obbligo di controllare che il veicolo che lo segue rispetti la distanza di sicurezza. The number two is falso, not vero. Okay? Because he says the driver is obliged to ensure that the vehicle following him maintain a safety distance. It is false, okay? Because the driver is required to maintain a safety distance, not only from the vehicle in front, but also to ensure that the vehicle behind maintains a safety distance. So, because what he's telling us, he says the driver is obliged to ensure that the vehicle following him maintain a safety distance. Oh, yes, it is. But not only from the vehicle in front, but also to ensure that the vehicle behind maintain a safety distance, which he himself will also have to maintain a safety distance on the road. So the number two is falso, not vero. Okay, so let's move to number three. The number three said, la distanza di sicurezza deve essere uguale allo spazio di frenatura aumentato di 20 metri. The number three is falso, not vero, because he says the safety distance must be equal to the braking distance plus 20 meters. It is falso, okay? Because the safety distance should not be 20 meters more according to the Spazio di Frenatura. I repeat, the safety distance should not be more than 20 meters according to the Spazio di Frenatura. So the number three is falso, not vero. Because what he's telling you is that the safety distance must be equal to the braking distance plus 20 meters. It is not. It is false. Okay? So let's move to number four. The number four is said, lo spazio totale di arresto aumenta se aumenta la velocità. The number four is vero, not falso, because he says the total stopping distance increases as the speed increases. Oh, yes, it is. Okay? Because the total stopping distance increases as the speed increases. This is because the braking distance, which is a component of stopping distance, is directly proportional to the square of the speed. So, if speed doubles, the braking distance increase fourfold. And if the speed triples, the braking distance increase ninefold. Okay? So the number four is vero, not falso. Let's move to number five. The number five, it says, lo spazio totale di arresto aumenta se la strada è innervata. The number five is vero, not falso. Okay? Because he says the total stopping distance increases if the road is covered with snow. Oh, yes, it is. The total stopping distance increases when the road is snowing. I repeat, the total stopping distance increases when the road is snowing. Okay? This is because the snow reduces the grip between the tires and the road surface, making it more difficult for the vehicles to slow down and stop. So the number five is vero, not falso. Okay? So let's move to number six. The number six is said, lo spazio di frenatura diminuisce se la strada è in salita. The number six is vero, not falso. Okay? Because he says braking distance decreases if the road is uphill. Oh, yes, it is. Because the braking distance decreases if the road is uphill, meaning if the road is salita. This is because the force of gravity, which act in the opposite direction to the vehicle's motion, help to reduce the distance needed to stop. So that is why the number six is vero, not falso. Okay? So if you truly want to understand what I am explaining, it is only when you watch the animation of this topic. Not just this topic, but the whole topic of Patenti B. I see majority of you don't even care about the animation. All you just want to do is to go straight to the questions. And this is one of the reasons why majority of you are failing the exam. So the number six is vero, not falso. Let's move to number seven. The number seven is said, strada extraurbana a una corsia per senso di marcia. La distanza fra veicoli adibiti ai trasporto di merci di massa complessiva superiore a 3,5 tonnellate, qui sia stato imposto il divieto di sorpasso devi essere di almeno 100 metri. The number seven is vero, not falso. Okay? Because he says extra urban road with one lane in each direction, the distance between vehicles used for the transport of goods with a total mass exceeding 3.5 tons for which overtaking is prohibited must be at least 100 meters. The number seven is vero, not falso. Okay? Because on extra urban road with one lane in each direction, where overtaking is prohibited for goods, vehicles with a gross vehicle weight exceeding 3.5 tons, the minimum distance to be maintained between this vehicle must be at least 100 meters. Okay? So, this provision is intended to ensure greater safety and prevent rear end collision, considering the weight and the size of these vehicles. So the number seven is vero, not falso. Let's move to number eight. The number eight is said, valore della distanza di sicurezza devi essere stabilito anche in base alla marcia innestata. The number 8 is falso, not vero. Okay? Because he says the safety distance value must also be established based on the jar engaged. It is falso. Okay? Because the safety distance must not be established based on the jar engaged. Rather, the safety distance is the minimum distance a driver must maintain from the vehicle in front to ensure a timely stop if necessary. Okay? So let's move to number 9. So the number 9 is said, sulla distanza di sicurezza influisce il carico trasportato dai veicolo. The number 9 is vero, not falso. Because he says the safety distance is influenced by the load carried by the vehicle. Oh, yes, it is. Okay? Because the load carried by a vehicle affect the safety distance that must be maintained from the vehicle in front. I repeat, the load carried by a vehicle affect the safety distance that must be maintained from the vehicle in front. In other words, a heavier load increases the vehicle's mass, which means it takes longer to come to a complete stop in the event of a sudden braking. So, therefore, it is necessary to increase the following distance to compensate for this increased stopping distance. I repeat, it is necessary to increase the following distance to compensate for this increased stopping distance. So the number 9 is vero, not falso. Okay? Let's move to number 10. The number 10 is said, strada extraurbana, il valore della distanza di sicurezza è sempre pari a 70 metri. The number 10 is falso, not vero. Because he said, extra urban road, the safety distance value is always equal to 70 meters. It is falso. Okay? Because the safety distance on extra urban road is not always equal to 70 meters. I repeat, the safety distance on extra urban road is not always equal to 70 meters. So this value is an example of a minimum safety distance, but the actual distance to maintain depends on several factors. Okay? So the number 10 is falso, not vero. Let's move to number 11. The number 11 is said, la distanza di sicurezza deve essere mantenuta per evitare lo scontro laterale. The number 11 is falso, not vero. Okay? Because he said a safe distance must be maintained to avoid a side collision. It is falso because a safety distance must be maintained to avoid a back collision, not a side collision. So the number 11 is falso, not vero. So let's move to number 12. The number 12 is said, lo spazio totale di arresto aumenta se i pneumatici sono usurati. The number 12 is vero, not falso. Okay? Because he says the total stopping distance increases if the tires are worn. Oh, yes, it is. Okay? If the tires of your vehicles are worn, then the total stopping distance will increase. Okay? So if there is no batistrada on your tires anymore, then the total stopping distance will increase. And also, worn tires have less grip on the road, which increase the distance needed to stop the vehicle, especially in an emergency braking situation. If there is no batistrada on your tires, then the total stopping distance will increase. Okay? So the number 12 is vero, not falso. Let's move to number 13. The number 13 is said, lo spazio di frenatura è indipendente dalla velocità. The number 13 is falso, not vero. Okay? Because he says the braking distance is independent of the speed. It is falso because the braking distance is not independent of the speed. I repeat, the braking distance is not independent of the speed. In fact, it increases the proportional to the square of the speed. So this means that if the speed doubles, the braking distance will increase in fourfold. If it triples, then it increases in ninefold, and so on. So the number 13 is falso, not vero. Let's move to number 14. The number 14 it says, lo sparso percorso nel tempo di reazione è quello percorso dal momento della percezione di una situazione di pericolo a quello di inizio della frenata. The number 14 is vero, not falso, because he said the distance traveled in reaction time is the distance traveled from the moment of perception of a dangerous situation to the moment of you starting to use the brake. It is vero, not falso. Okay? Because the distance traveled in the reaction time is exactly the distance a vehicle travels from the moment the driver perceives a danger to the dangerous situation until braking begins. So the number 14 is vero, not falso. I have explained all these on the animation, so please, I will encourage you to watch the animation on my channel if you get access to the video of this topic. I mean, the animation of this topic. The reason why I am not explaining much is because I've already explained everything on the animation. So, with the animation, it will help you to answer the questions. So, let's move to number 15. The number 15 is said, conducente deve valutare la distanza di sicurezza anche sulla base della velocità del veicolo di cui è alla guida. The number 15 is vero, not falso. Okay? Because he says the driver must evaluate the safety distance also on the basis of the speed of the vehicle he's driving. Oh, yes, it is. Okay? The driver must always assess the safety distance between their vehicles and the one in front, taking into account the speed at which they are traveling with. So, if you are going in a higher speed, it requires a greater safety distance to ensure adequate reaction in the event of a sudden braking or an unexpected obstacles. So the number 15 is vero, not falso. Okay? So the safety distance must be evaluated based on the speed of the vehicles at that moment that you are traveling with. So the number 15 is vero, not falso. So, all right, we are going to end the teaching for number 15. So we'll proceed on the number 16 on the continuation of this topic, which is Distanza di Sicurezza. So please, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, then please I will encourage you to do so that Whenever I drop a video, you will be the first to see it. And also, if you want to become part of our private class, then please call the phone number that you are seeing on the screen. Or if possible, drop a message on our comment section. Then I will reply to your comment. Thank you. So I look forward to see you on, on this same topic, which is Distanza di Sicurezza, Scheda number 1. Ciao, ciao, ciao.